Welcome in, everybody, to the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show. We are back here at the Sheraton Erie Bayfront. I always start off these shows making jokes about the cold weather, and today is a beautiful day out, so I guess we should acknowledge that too. Have cross-country coach John Carrig here to join us, his second time on the show. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
All right, so since the last time that we talked, you had a whole complete short spring cross-country season.
That's correct.
How'd that go for you guys?
I think it went very well for us. Despite the weather, the complications with the snow and the ice, we got to thank the PSAC people for putting on a great event for us. We got our championship in. We were able to get a couple meets in, and it worked out very well. The team, the guys and the girls, both ran very well.
All right. So how different was that coming back, spring semester, getting everyone ready to go whenever there's snow and ice on the ground?
It was it was a little different when you're running in 20-degree weather as opposed to 70, 80-degree weather. It's a big difference.
So usually how you guys have done that in postseason races, regionals, and PSAC sometimes ran in those conditions,
yeah,
but
we didn't have to practice in it.
Yeah, right. Although I do always have to say, you guys, maybe it's because I don't drive right past the field every time, but I do drive past your runners all the time, running on the street whenever there's slush and ice and all that kind of stuff. So they do run through it sometimes.
Yeah, and that was a problem. We were limited to where we could run because there was a lot of ice and snow on the ground.
Right.
6th Street was great run for us.
A nice track for you. Actually, that kind of goes into the first meet that you had. Got transferred into a road race because of the conditions,
correct,
of course,
correct.
Back in February. How's that different for you?
Well, it's cross country is on trails and dirt and everything, and we were on a road, so it was a lot faster. And it was a little colder, but they pulled it off. It was the kids got a chance to race, and that was that's what we were there for. We want to race.
Right, and then you got to go into the PSAC championships. Had almost every team there was just about a full field, and turned in the best performances since we joined the PSAC.
Yes, both men and women they came through. I think we had a little advantage over the other teams because we were in class. All our kids were here. We were able to practice as a team, and so that was a big advantage for us.
Right. Now this spring you're going to get to run in some track meets, hopefully.
Yes, we're going to try to do that.
Right, which you normally try to do in the spring,
yes,
but usually it's not right after the season.
Right. Normally we get 3 or 4. We're allowed to go to 5. We get 3 or 4 in, and hopefully we can do the same this year.
All right. So just overall, now that competition kind of season is behind you, what was the year like to try to keep everything together?
It was a struggle. I think it was a struggle more for the students than for me. I coach, it's not hard. There's no X's and O's in cross country. You just got to keep them motivated. I think that was the hardest part. And the team they're struggling between the grades and not going out, not having social life, whatever. But I think they did very well.
Right.
And I have to give credit to the university too.
Yeah. And the looking at the teams and the results that you had some new names pop up, some younger kids turn in some really good times. What does that do? What does that tell you about what they've done over the past year? What does that kind of show you for the future?
I'll tell you one thing. It looks good for next year. And they've worked hard. That's all I can ask for. Work hard, and we look good for next year.
Right. Looking at next year, what's that looking like for you? Hopefully a much more normal season.
Yes, hopefully it will be. I think with the training over the summer, I think that will be normal for us. Hopefully we'll have camp. We'll be able to come back at a regular time and get some good miles in. It looks like it's going to.
Right. All right. Let's see what else. I guess the most important question: how's your golf game?
It's getting there.
Yeah, you had a little bit more time to get out there in the fall than you normally would, but now in the spring it took up some of your free time, right?
Yeah, right. I was trying to hit balls over the ice.
All right, so we're going to move on to the Fast Five segment.
Okay, here we go.
You get 5 new questions.
New ones, okay.
So decided instead of testing your memory if you can remember your old 5 ones, we're just going to do 5 new ones. But ready to give it a shot?
Okay, let's go.
All right, let's see here. What is your favorite food?
Oh man, I'd say an apple.
All right.
Or chicken.
Or chicken. All right, those two, they go together.
Yes.
All right, what's the best game or event you've seen in person? It could be just something you were a fan or you coached.
I would have to say my daughter's swim meets.
All right. Let's see here. What's your favorite sport other than the one you coach?
Golf.
All right. That wasn't a surprise to anyone there. Let's see. What's your favorite animal?
Oh, dog. Oh no, horse. I have to say horse. Horse.
Oh.
I like the horse. I have to horse, dog. It's gonna be tough.
All right, and last one. Would you rather have a foot of snow or have it be 100 degrees and humid?
Well, I always say I like to live in the hot weather and die in the cold weather. I'd rather freeze to death than
burn
melt to death.
There you go. That works. All right. So that was Fast 5. You've now completed the Fast 10 over this semester. Here.
All right.
Head cross country coach John Carrig. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Dave.
All right. We'll be right back after this.
Yankee Honda knows winter does not slow us down in Erie. We're tough, so why not drive an SUV that fits who we are? Like the 2021 Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive that you can now lease for only $198 per month. Erie is who we are. Honda is what we drive.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show. We're joined now by women's cross country senior Meredith Morse. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, so you guys just got done with a very abnormal spring season.
Sure did.
So we're going to take it back kind of to, I guess, last summer there, whenever you guys were probably prepping as well as you could for a fall season, and then rug kind of got pulled out from under us and everyone. What was that like to kind of look for a little while like you weren't going to have that season?
It was definitely a whirlwind. We were training really hard over the summer, keeping track of our mileage, and we had built up a really strong team. So at first it was really disappointing knowing that we weren't going to have that team to compete with altogether. But it ended up still being a blessing in disguise. A lot of us were able to still practice. We would have weekly practices, and we did a couple of mock races, which we did a couple mock races against Mercyhurst to kind of see how we would match up with them as well, and just to stay in shape. So then when we found out that we were going to have a spring season, that we weren't really sure what it was going to look like, but it was a lot better than I thought it was going to go.
Right.
So
mock races. I feel like you still had to run multiple miles, so it's not quite a mock race, but
right, exactly. It just wasn't an official
for
race.
Some people.
Yeah.
All right. So then, whenever you did find out that there was going to be, at least a championship meet this spring, that we were going to have a couple events, what was that like? Just finding out that you'd still get to compete.
It was honestly a little bit nerve-wracking because we still weren't. We were training, but it wasn't to the same extent that we would for cross country in the fall. So I think we were a little bit nervous. A lot of the times we would have to go a week at a time doing our workouts inside because the weather was just so bad. Right. But when we were able to have just our first race on the road race, our top 6 girls were all sub 20 minutes, and that's never happened to us before. I broke 19 minutes for the first time, so it was honestly really exciting knowing that we were going to have a championship season, knowing that we were already so strong. So we were all really excited knowing that we were going to have PSAC.
Right. And then you got there, you got to, I guess, let's say like January, coming back to campus, getting ready, like your coach just said, running through the snow, trying to figure out ways to train to get into kind of that shape, being ready to go. How was that different than your normal, August run in the heat?
Yeah, I mean, heat's always tough, but we're so used to it at this point that we're not used to as much of the winter. Since we usually have a track season, we are used to Erie weather, so it was just tough knowing that we were still on like a strict normal schedule, practicing every day and trying to battle the weather. So like Coach said, we did a lot of runs on 6th Street. It got slightly repetitive, but we had some safe spots, and we still got some really great workouts in. There's an option to run inside the rec too, which was good. So.
All right, and so you guys got to still have the home meet out at Pleasant Ridge Park, which was, I'm sure, different, a little soggier than normal.
It was, and I was worried at first because I thought they were going to change the course around, and it's already confusing to begin with. So I was really glad that we were able to do that as a team for some of the other seniors last time and just keep it the way it usually is.
Right. and you guys got to go to the PSAC championship meet and got just the best performance that the team has gotten since we joined the league, over almost 15 years ago. So what was that like? What led up to that performance?
It was really exciting. When we were first getting there, a lot of us have raced at Lock Haven a few times before. It's very flat. Right. And we were warming up, getting our spikes on, and Rosie said, I think we're all going to go top 5. And the team is going to go top 5. And we were nervous at first when she said that, but we also knew it was possible. So when we ran, we gave it our all, and we had some girls who were never really our top scorers just really show up, and we ended up tying for 3rd. So it was definitely better than a performance we thought we were going to have too. So it's very exciting.
Right. So what does that? How does that help you for next year, which you're coming back to use your 5th year in the fall? What do you think that does for you, for the team in the fall?
Definitely. At first, I was really upset because I didn't think I was going to have another year, and our team had just kept on building and building. So I was really disappointed, and so one of the reasons why once I was told that I could have a year of eligibility was I need to keep running with these same girls. We've built up such a great team, so I know that the fall is going to look amazing given what we were able to do with the limited time and resources that we had. So knowing that myself and another one of our senior runners are coming back and we have such a great underclassmen team, I think we're going to do either the same or a place higher as a team.
All right. And so you're going to be finishing up your degree there too as a physician assistant major.
Correct.
So you had that was nice. You still have something to come back. You have to decide on a master's or anything to try to make it work. So
right.
What do you want to do with that degree whenever you get it wrapped up?
So I'll definitely want to specialize at some point. We'll do our rotations during 5th year. So I'm actually living in Erie for the first 2 to try to balance cross country and my rotations. It's going to be like working 2 jobs, but. At this point, I'm really interested in plastics and reconstructive surgery and women's health. So don't know exactly where I want to be yet, but those are my 2 focuses as of right now.
All right. So now you have just about 4 years in Erie under your belt.
Sure do.
What initially brought you here to Gannon?
Definitely the PA program, and I went to the Night with Scholars weekend one time to just kind of get a feel for the campus, and I was actually committed to go to school someplace else, and when I stepped on campus it just felt like home and that I could not be anywhere else. So I reached out to Coach Carrig to see if I could run and started to meet him, met some of the teammates, and I was sold. Just loved it ever since.
Oh, that's great. That's the perfect sales pitch, and that's what we hope to hear from everyone.
Yeah.
All right, so that wraps up kind of the questions about cross country and
Perfect.
Gannon. We're going to move into the Fast 5 segment.
All right.
5 quick questions to hopefully help everyone get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
Have nothing to do with running or Gannon. So, all right, let's see here. We're going to start with first one. What's your favorite book?
Favorite book? The last book that I read, I would say, is probably my favorite right now. It's called Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. It's like a personal growth, self-development book. So.
All right, let's see. Favorite movie?
Get Out. I don't know if you've heard of it, but
Yeah.
It's kind of like a horror, mystery adventure movie. Yeah.
That is a good one. I like that one. All right, let's see. Favorite band? Favorite type of music?
That's a hard one. I have so many, but I love the 1975 and John Bellion. Some good ones.
All right, what's your dream vacation?
I think I'd love to go to Bora Bora. I've just seen awesome pictures and heard awesome things about it.
I've noticed that whenever during the winter, a lot of these dream vacations have been to tropical locations.
Yes.
We'll see if that changes up in the summer here. All right, and last one here. What's your dream car?
When I was younger, I always wanted a Corvette for some reason, so probably just a Corvette with a convertible.
All right, good answers. All right, that's women's cross country senior Meredith Morse. Thanks for coming in today, and
thank you.
best of luck as you finish up your semester and come back for another one in the fall.
Awesome, yes, thank you so much.
All right, we will be right back after this.
What is Gannon? A place where you are transformed.
Where you can find yourself and define who you want to become.
A university grounded on faith and inclusiveness.
That values your well-being and growth.
Forming a family inspired by global connections.
A community that builds on our traditions with a vision for the future.
That believes in the possibilities.
And more importantly, believes in you.
This is Gannon.
This is Gannon.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show. Joined now by men's cross country sophomore Caleb Mandel. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you just wrapped up a spring season there. You guys did really well. Your team did, you did. But we're going to take it back whenever we thought we weren't going to have a season to start out. What was that like after that off-season training? Your off-season lasted a lot longer than it normally does. To be there in August, July, whenever we found out that maybe we're not going to be having a season here.
Yeah, it was really challenging coming back from the summer, like midway through summer training when Coach told us that we couldn't have a season. It was really disappointing finding that out, but coming back to campus in the fall and like seeing all the guys, it like really helped to know like we're all in the same boat. We all just have to like get through this. We might have a season, we don't know yet, but just like being there together with all the guys really helped to like get the motivation back.
Right. So kind of once you figured that out, you guys got back to campus and just kind of you had to put your heads down and work kind of by yourselves a little bit to keep going. What was that like? Who stepped up and started leading? Was it everyone? I mean, how'd you keep going in the fall?
Yeah, so basically everyone just kind of like, we all sat down, we just talked, we're like, well, if we can't have a season, we just have to treat it like we would normally in the spring, just train through it and just hope for the best. And then like we all just kind of stepped up, we all did what we had to do and just put the miles in, and then training came and went.
Right. So then whenever you found out that, okay, yes, there is going to be a PSAC championship in the spring, did that change the mindset at all or just give you a new goal kind of? How was that different?
It definitely gave us like something to look forward to, like something to focus our energy towards, and then just like have that new like motivation, just finding it there to like look forward to racing again, finally competing.
All right, so when you came back in January, what was that like, that training in the ice and snow and slush and trying to get ready for that in a way that you normally don't have to?
Yeah, it was a little, definitely different, but like we've all run around Erie a few times, so like we know how the winters get, like they're sloppy, you can't really get around it. And like for me, being from Harbor Creek, I've had to deal with it my entire high school career. So it's just like finding the roads where you can and then just making sure that you don't injure yourself out there on the roads.
Right, and then it probably helped you whenever you had to actually go out and compete in it, down at IUP or over at Lock Haven, sorry, and then at our home race, and then went back to Lock Haven for PSACs, got to run on the course. What was that like? Did you guys have an idea of the performance that you'd be able to do going into it?
It was pretty nerve-wracking because coming back after not racing for so long, you just like the thoughts creep in. You're just like, how is it gonna like turn out? My body's not like really used to racing at this level again. But like just having everyone there, everyone being in the same boat, like we all knew like, okay, we've been training enough. It's just time to put in the work and then see what comes out.
Right. So you guys it's a large class of sophomores that all came in last year together, and kind of got thrown right into the lineup there, where you'd get leaned on you to be point scorers and stuff like that. How have you guys grown together as a class?
We definitely grew because like as we came in, we all knew that we're making up the majority of the team. There's gonna be us like that's gonna lead the team for the next like 4 years. So it was really like kind of like a lot of pressure being thrown at us, but having the numbers of guys that we have, it's definitely not as bad as you would think, because if one person doesn't step up, there's always the next person that can help out.
Right. All right, so to kind of wrap up the cross-country portion of it, also need to get into the fact that at that cross-country championship, you won the Champion Scholar, which goes to the highest GPA of someone competing there. Makes it 4 straight for the team, dating back the last few years. Is that a tradition that you and your teammates are proud to kind of keep going?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully keeping it going. I mean, I'd like to be able to not let it drop when it's my time. So.
Right, and there's a little bit. I know there's an internal battle there for you guys too. I think you're a few credits ahead, so you guys get to keep it up and kind of hold everyone else at bay there. And you're doing that as a physician assistant major. What drew you to that?
I always wanted to go into the healthcare field, like my mom was, and that like just like helping people and like making sure that everyone can like do their best. It's always just like kind of what drove me. And then like coming to Gannon, like the 5-year physician assistant program is just like perfect because you get in, you get out in a timely manner, and you don't have to like spend a ton of money to be able to do what you want.
All right. Coming to Gannon, so you're a local kid. You knew of Gannon before. It's not like they came out of nowhere. What drew you to it and to stay around Erie?
Definitely the PA program. That was a big force in me coming here. But that and just like being close enough to home where it's not like too much of a worry. Like if something goes wrong, I can always like get back and stuff like that. And came in handy with the COVID
Didn't have a whole lot to travel home last March. All right, so now we're going to roll right into the Fast Five segment. You just got a little bit of a preview, so you're at a little bit of an advantage versus Meredith. So we'll see what your answers are. We'll mix up the order, try to confuse you a little bit. All right, let's see here. What is your favorite band?
My favorite band would probably be, doesn't really count as a band, but Machine Gun Kelly. He's been putting out a lot of new stuff, and it's just been really good.
All right, let's see. Dream vacation?
Probably going to like somewhere tropical, like to the Bahamas or like something like that.
Okay, let's see. Favorite book?
My favorite book would probably be the series that I'm reading right now, like the Aragon series. Just really interesting, really captivating.
All right, let's see. Dream car?
I would probably have to go with either a Ferrari or a Lamborghini.
Okay, and last one. Favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Good Will Hunting.
Okay, so knock those right out. It's almost like you knew him before. All right, so that's cross-country sophomore, Caleb Mandel. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Best of luck as you wrap up the rest of the semester.
Thank you.
All right, that wraps up the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show for this week. We'll be back next week with more coaches and student athletes. Thanks for tuning in.